I know what you're thinking. How can divorce be friendly, even civil, when there's been infidelity? How is that possible? All that anger, all that pain, all that shame. I remember how that felt. If you were with me back in 2003, you would have felt that chill wind on your neck and seen me frozen, bewildered. What happened last night has changed my life forever. Nothing will ever be the same. Do you remember that scene in Jaws? When the camera stays on the face of the character and pulls back really fast, so the whole background is shooting away. I feel like that. It's like my whole world is hurtling past me, and yet here I stand, unable to move, to even think. I hear the sound of 14 tiny feet as 7 small children hurtle past me with the smell of damp anorak and mud. 3 of them are mine, and 4 belong to M. M, why are you wearing leopard skin boots in the park in January? Well, Suzy, I had to. I couldn't change when you told me what happened. I came here as fast as I could. Oh, that's Jolene. She stole your man. She did indeed, Em. She did. But it's worse than that. It's worse. How can I tell her what I'm really feeling? We're in a public place. The children might hear. But I can tell you. 10-year relationship, gone overnight, and I didn't even see it coming. How am I going to survive financially? The house is being sold for debts that I didn't even know we had. Where are we going to live? And then I'm thinking the worst part of it all, the worst thing of all, Em, this year I'm going to be 40. No one is ever going to want me. Oh, well, I have to admit, with 3 small children in tow, it's a lot to ask of a man. You're not helping, Em. You know, if I was you, I'd have them both taken out. I think I might know someone. Em, my children are now part of a broken family. The last thing they need is to become orphaned. Suzy, you're going to have to tell them tonight. You cannot let them hear it from somebody else. Have you ever had to tell someone you love something very sad? Well, I had to tell 3 of them. 1.5, 3.5, just turned 6. Children, I've got some difficult news. Mummy and Daddy are going to be living in different houses. No, don't panic. We're going to you'll see lots of both of us, I promise you. And we love you very, very much. It's just that Daddy doesn't love Mummy anymore. What am I going to do with all that anger? What am I going to do with all that bitterness and rage and jealousy? What would you do? What was I going to turn to? Drugs? Alcohol? I turned to something different. I turned to God, and I was bloody angry. How could you do this to me? How could you take everything away just overnight? What have I done to deserve this? I was the perfect middle-class housewife with my 3-bedroom house and my 100-foot garden. I did everything right and you just stolen it all away from me. Help me. And he did. He sent me self-cert mortgages. Do you remember those? I bought a house. He sent me working family tax credit. I started a business with another single mum. We didn't know what the hell we were doing, but God, it was exciting. He sent me self-development. I walked over burning hot coals at Anthony Robbins, cool moss, cool moss, cool moss, and I didn't burn my feet. And the books, there was one in particular that caught my eye. It had the word revenge in the title. I borrowed that one. And I just kept moving forwards. And I experimented and I explored, and finally it all caught up with me. And I found myself in a place I didn't want to be, with a needle in my arm. It smelt of disinfectant, and I suppose I should be glad to be alive, really, but... And I'm on a drip, Em. Thank you so much for coming to visit me. It's antibiotics. Apparently, my appendix burst. I have no idea when. And so I've still got it because it's too late to take it out. And I should only be in here for about a week, and then I can just carry on. Suzy, what do you could have died! You had 3 small children. You've got to stop just ploughing on like this. I know it was very traumatic what happened to you, and it is amazing what you've achieved, but you can't keep going on like this. You have to slow down. I can't, Em. I see her sometimes. In the village, she's scuttling around, avoiding eye contact. One day, we could be face to face. What am I going to do if I'm just a single mum who used to have a 3-bedroom house with a 100-foot garden, and now I'm in an ex-council house, sleeping in my living room? I have to keep moving, Emma. I can't stop. Well, you're no good to your children dead, are you? You need some kind of purpose. Oh, God, I sound like one of those books you keep lending me. And I have an idea. I saw it in the papers today. Austria, of all places, is holding the world's first ever divorce fair. Listen, stay with me on this, Suzy. Imagine you come in to the exhibition hall, and along the wall are lawyers with banners that read, "We'll get you the best settlement," and "Take 'em to the cleaners." And over here, at this event, they have, in Austria, private detectives and DNA testers exhibiting. So you could have those too. You'd have, I can just see it, there's the DNA testers with a banner, "Are you sure? Why pay for what's not yours?" And over there, we have the DNA tester. Oh, sorry, the private detective. The private detective is saying, "Catch 'em at it. Colour photos included." It would be wonderful. And you're the person to put it on, Suzy. That kind of an event would have been completely useless to me. Do you think I've got where I am now with my kid's dad if I'd immersed myself in that kind of mentality? Take him for everything he's got. He was skint, in fact, in debt. The DNA tester, you know my children, they're like little clones of him. It's impossible to believe they could be from anyone else. And colour photos included. What do I want a photo of him shagging Jolene for? What am I going to do? Pop it on the mantelpiece and go, "Hey children, look, there's Daddy." Obviously, Suzy, you're going to give it your own twist. The fact is, you have achieved so much. You've taken this co-parenting relationship, as you call it, and you've made it work. I mean, I admire you. I don't understand it, but I do admire you. And in my book, if you've achieved something that other people struggle with, then you should share it. Have you ever found yourself realising all of a sudden that all that progress that you made, all that success, all along you were just running away? And I had to make a decision. So what did I do? Obviously, I decided to put on the UK's first ever divorce fair. And very soon it became evident that it was going to be a complete disaster. In fact, so much so that I'm here and the band's playing. They're not very good, but they've kept us dancing for a while. And I'm drowning my sorrows. And Em, how do you dance in leopard skin stilettos that high? How am I doing? Terrible. What was I thinking of? The people I've brought around me to do the event, they're saying, Suzy, there's not enough time. You're going to have to cancel. You'll never get enough people to come. They're saying, Suzy, all those exhibitors that you've signed up, you've got to give them their money back. How can I, Em? I'm £15,000 in debt. Of course it's on a credit card. I don't have £15,000. What was I thinking of? Who did I think I was that I could put on this event? Maybe I shouldn't have got a wedding planner to help put on the UK's first ever divorce fair. Hey, I see her too. Oh my God, she's coming over. She's shaking. Hold my drink. Leave this to me. Jolene. Suzy, I've been watching you for about an hour. I was too scared to come and say hello. Scared? Of her? I can understand, but why were you scared of me? Oh God, Suzy, what I did to you. I mean, I don't even know how you can talk to me. I mean, why don't you punch me? Why didn't you just punch me? Did I punch her? Something happened that, to this day, I can't quite explain it. Jolene, it's all water under the bridge. And I meant it. Have you ever found yourself doing something and you think, oh my God, where did that come from? It was as if all that walking over those burning hot coals that didn't burn my feet, and how they festered inside me, and all that bitterness and anger and that rage, how somehow it didn't burn my heart. And it makes me think of that. There's that saying, I don't know who originally said this, but resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Maybe somehow I'd found some kind of an antidote. Maybe I did have something to share. The band's playing, but this is a different band. They're a really good one. They're called Tankers of Hens. You should catch them if you can. And they're playing a song called Smiling Makes the Day Go Quicker. And we're in the Old Ship Hotel in Brighton in 2010. And the room is thronging. I've just come from the BBC studios in Brighton, been on breakfast TV, and there's the man from the Times and the lady from the Mail and the Mirror, and there's a funny little man next to me. He's looking very awkward, and he's wearing a pinstripe suit. He comes from the News of the World. Do you remember them? Right, Suzy Miller, creator of the UK's first ever divorce fair. I'm confused. Everybody seems to be having a really good time. Well, yes, of course. This is a place of inspiration and information. They come here to find healthier, saner ways to go through family change. Right. Okay, where's the lawyers then? Where's the lawyers? Oh, yeah, we have lawyers. They're over here, but they're not normal lawyers. They're the kind that keep you out of court. I've never heard of those kind of lawyers. Okay, at the Austrian fair, there were DNA testers and private detectives. Where are they? Oh, we don't have any of those exhibiting. But, oh, I'm sorry, you've just missed them. They've gone off with the mirror. They beat you to it, I'm afraid. They are non-denominational pastors, and they're going on to Brighton Beach to do a letting go ceremony. A letting go ceremony. Who's that woman there? She's got a Q. What's her sign say? It's like Mystic Housewife. Yes, that's Jane. She's doing soul reading cards. It helps people think more positively about the future, the possibilities, and then when they go and talk to the legal and financial people, they're just kind of in a better headspace. Soul cards at a divorce fair. Look, I've got to write something. What inspired you to put on the first UK divorce fair? Well, funny you should ask that. There was this book I borrowed, and what caught my eye was it had the word revenge in the title. Revenge. Right, now we're getting somewhere. This book, it was by Chuck Spezzano, and the title was Happiness is the Best Revenge. So what happened next? Well, the event didn't get written up in the News of the World, but it did get written up in the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, the Times, the Guardian, the Mirror. The New York Times mentioned it, as did the Washington Post. I became an authority on alternative ways to divorce, a divorce strategist, with a whole programme in how to help families to find better ways of going through the process, more peaceful ways. I was featured on breakfast television and Radio 4 talking about extended families, blended families. I was featured in the Times, and also I wrote for the Daily Mail on better ways to divorce. And what I learned through the war of family separation, through the battlefield of divorce, was that peace became my weapon of choice. You may want to write that down. Make peace your weapon of choice.